3rd, 2025 shall come to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Motion to approve the agenda, please.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mark, seconded by Creighton, that we approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say.
Aye.
Motion passes. Number 3, approval of the consent agenda, including the following: approval of City Council meeting minutes of January 20th, the regular meeting, and the workshop of January 24th, 2025. We need approval of the bills and claims, of which you also have a copy. And we need approval of pay estimate number 9 for the Lakeview Room Band Shell Improvement Project to Dean Snyder Construction in the amount of $22,141.65. We need to set February 18th, 2025 at 5:30 as the date and time for the next regular City Council meeting due to President's Day holiday on the 17th. And we have a resolution 2507, a resolution approving the city administrator recruitment agreement. And we do not have any licenses and permits on this particular meeting day. Motion to approve the consent agenda, please.
So moved.
Moved by Bennett, seconded by Creighton,
Second.
that we approve the consent agenda. We need a roll call here because of the resolution. Mark?
Yes.
Creighton?
Yes.
Beth Ann?
Yes.
Bennett?
Yes.
And Dana? Dana?
Yes.
There he is.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Now is the time and place for any citizen in the audience who wishes to address the council on any issue or concern. Please approach the podium, state your name first and last, and give your address so the clerk can properly enter in the minutes. This is not a discussion time nor a question and answer time, and you have 3 to 5 minutes. None appearing, we'll move on to unfinished business. Number 5, Stonebrook Condominiums Urban Revitalization Plan. This is on the second reading. We need a motion to approve ordinance number 888, an ordinance designating an area of Clear Lake, Iowa as 2025 Stonebrook Condominiums Urban Revitalization Area. Motion, please.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Beth Ann, seconded by Creighton, that we approve ordinance number 888 on the second of 3 readings. Is there any discussion? We'll call Creighton.
Yes.
Beth Ann.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Dana.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0, and ordinance number 888 is passed on the second of 3 readings. 6A, presentation from Saragordo County Department of Public Health, Child Care Works Initiative, presentation by Kelly Curtis, Saragordo County Public Health. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mayor, council members, city officials. I'm Kelly Curtis with CG Public Health, but I also represent the Child Care Works Collaborative here in Saragordo County. I was here just over a year ago, the fall of 23, asking for your guys' support as the City of Clear Lake to help us in the Child Care Solutions arena. So we're here to present some of the results from a full year of implementation of some of those projects, then also ask for your continued support. Colleen Frines, one of our other co-chairs of that group, and you may have been in discussions with her throughout the year as well for results and stuff. But when we came to you in the fall of 23, our child care system in North Iowa was sort of in dire straits, particularly here in Clear Lake. Laketown Charlie Brown, your largest center here, was actually closing classrooms due to not being able to staff. And we had heard some feedback from banks, some healthcare and school systems saying how that was impacting their workforce as well. Based on the prolonged closures of classrooms. So that was not unique to Clear Lake. That's happening all across the state and the country, quite frankly. So a group of partners got together. We launched the wage supplement program thanks to community investment, private investment, and state investment in January of 2024. So in your packet, I believe you got results that we have seen through the first year of implementation. I think we're very excited to see what we've seen and shown that the solution we proposed back that fall is paying off and showing results, and quite quickly. We were able to raise the wages of our childcare center providers $2 an hour, starting in last January. So that was an average of 17% increase in salary, which was pretty significant for someone, particularly at that low of wage. When we started the program, our centers were averaging right at about $11.81 an hour. Starting rates ranged anywhere from $8 to $10. A full year in, like I said, we've got that 17% hike across the board, but our starting wages have jumped to a minimum of 10, upwards of $16 an hour for the center's starting wages. So that right there is exciting to see, and it is because of the support that this wage program could help bring in. Also, we have 8 centers in our county. 7 of them are nonprofit. So to have a huge profit margin is not something that they're in the business for. And so after the pandemic, when they dropped capacity, they really struggled to get back into that profitable break-even level. And then, of course, competing with the wages that other industries can offer also put a crimp in them being able to be at full capacity for enrollment. So anyways, besides helping employees, we've added 68 childcare slots. We've served more children than that, but slots is a good way to indicate if we're actually making a difference, because some children can share a slot based on when they're there in the centers. Another big thing, we've seen reduction in childcare wait lists. I just asked Clear Lake for their latest roster for wait lists, and they have, let me get it right for you. They have 20 infants on their wait list, which is the lowest the director has known since she started working at Charlie Brown. And 14 of those 20 have not been born yet. So, and that's just pretty common these days for us as mothers to get on as soon as we find out. And she only has 2 families on her 2-year-old wait list, and no waiting list for the 1-year-old, 3, 4, 5-year-old classrooms. So that's unheard of, but that's awesome. Other things, we did require some quality measures for any centers that participated. One of those being that they all had to be rated by the state Iowa Health and Human Services rating scale. When we started, there were 3 that were not rated yet. 1 was working on it, so they quickly finished up to get rated before we launched the program. And then the other 2 applied and got recognized within the first 3 months of us launching the program. So now all centers in our county are quality rated, and just showing again the quality of care that's going into these centers. And I think the biggest thing that I as a mother take away, but then as a member of this collaborative, is that we get anecdotal feedback from families and the directors, but the directors across the board have said the quality of applicants they're seeing come through their doors is so much higher than it was a year and a half ago when we came to them. And just, again, lifted their spirits from talking with staff. They talk about, that $2 an hour makes a huge difference to them when they were making $10 and now it's $12, and they don't have to choose between if they're gonna put food on the table or get their kids a birthday cake. So, I mean, just those little things we take for granted, but it's being felt by these providers. So, we are here again to ask for continued commitment. We had came to you for a 3-year commitment when we first showed up. We had asked for $50,000 each year. I know you guys were hesitant because it was our first year and we understood that. So I believe you've done $25,000 the last 2 years. So we're entering into our 3rd year of the program. The state, if you listen to the governor's condition of Iowa speech, she pledged another upwards of $30 million into the Child Care Solutions Fund. So we want to be ready that we can again reapply for the state matching funds that will be coming through. We were able to do that the first round. We actually were awarded a 2-to-1 match, so your money was essentially double fold there, which was awesome as well. What that allowed us to do also was this last year, we also provided retention bonuses to all in-home providers because they were someone who weren't part of the wage supplement program, and then also all before and after and summer school staff because they also serve the child care arena. And so they all received an annual bonus as well because we were awarded that extra state money, and that was not something we had initially budgeted for. So hopefully we covered more than we thought as far as child care providers, and we're really continuing to shore up some of the issues we've been seeing. So I'd welcome any questions or discussion, and just thank you for your consideration of continuing to fund us here with the state.
Yeah, I've got just a comment. This is a wonderful program and a must program, and I assume the one that you're talking about, Clear Lake, is to Charlie Brown?
Yeah,
Is that
Lake
what
Town,
what
yep.
we-
That's
Lake
the
Town, is that
major,
what we-
yep, the
okay.
major center here.
All right, and so that there are some that don't have the qualifications to apply for this? Are there other private or non-private, or?
All the current centers that are licensed with Iowa are enrolled in the program, so there are none that aren't. If they are unlicensed, we just wouldn't know about them. That doesn't mean they're not part of the rating system, but all centers that could be eligible are eligible and enrolled right now in our county.
All right, that being the case, there are no qualifications for workers then?
No,
No.
I mean, you have to pass a background check.
Uh-huh.
But all those restrictions are for the provider. We do have one where you can't make more than $20 an hour. That only applied to a handful of directors, and they weren't actually providing direct child care anyways. And then they had to work at least part-time, and most of them all fit that category, unless they were a seasonal help, like a college kid during the summer or something like that.
So there are standards then for
Yes,
that?
yep,
Okay.
yep.
And then, does each center have goals for a staff member, or, I mean, to
For pay
improve
raise, or,
themselves, or, you know?
would you say professional performance or like
Yeah,
wage?
all right, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, so there are some supplemental programs that the state offers in conjunction with the wage
state,
program.
okay.
They have a teach program, which covers tuition for a child care provider if they want to go back to school while they're a provider. And then they also have what's called a wages program, which in addition to this, it's based on their education level and number of years worked, they get bumped up with the state will provide additional funding to that center to pay them an extra income bracket as well. Child Care Resource and Referral kind of manages and helps the centers with those two programs, so I can get more information if you want specifics. But there's lots of things going on to kind of recruit people into this sphere. A big one, if you're talking with state legislators this year, hopefully they're gonna pass legislation that will make official the free child care assistance for child care providers. It's been in a pilot project the last 2 years. Where if you work in childcare, your children get free care, but then the state will still pay the center for that care. And that's been a huge lift too, because for the longest time, centers were just eating that. They were providing free care for the provider, but eating that cost, and that also did not help them meet ends meet, so.
So it appears, you said the state threw in a lot of funding, and that's good to the point of, my point of longevity. In other words,
Right.
just isn't now where we're throwing in a ton of money and then
It
let
shouldn't
it
fizzle
roll.
out.
But
Right,
it-
that has been the goal, is for us to kind of stop the bleeding, for the state to figure out, like, these things are working. Here's the evidence now for a couple of years. Let's start to make these things official with state funding as well, yeah. If you guys, I'll point you to, the Iowa Women's Foundation, if you want to go to their website. They, paid for a survey on the 12 communities in Iowa who did a wage program last year, and did an independent review from a consulting company, and they came in to see if it was really working, if the data we were giving was true, if Iowa wasn't fudging the numbers to make it look good or whatnot, and they found nearly identical results from what we reported to what they found in their independent studies. So they found for every $1 invested, $22 return back to that local community by getting the parent back to
Yeah,
work or whatever.
wonderful. I assume they go through training, CPR.
Yep. They have to get all
The
that, yes.
standard first
And
aid and all that?
Yep, we also, I should add, there's several other layers that the Child Care Works
Right.
Collaborative's been working on. One is called Child Care Ready. It's a new certificate program we launched in the Mason City High School last year. So all juniors and seniors can go through that program free of charge. They get CPR trained. All their DHS mandatory reporting trainings, all OSHA requirements and things before. Usually the child care center would have to eat that the first couple of weeks before they could actually start to see children. Now they can get it while they're at school, be ready to be employed. They just launched the public version of that through NIAC, so now any resident can go through that program free of charge. and be ready to be employed, and the center doesn't have to eat all those background costs. And then we've also been in discussions with local schools to add that to theirs. Mason City piloted it last year. It worked. Forest City, I think they've been talking with Clear Lake schools, Hampton, I think Iowa Falls. There's probably 6 or 7 in the area that are looking to bring it to their schools as well, to just funnel more recruits into that workforce too.
Do those groups get together ever and share?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
There were many of them down. There was a childcare summit down in Altoona in December, so many of them were there talking and discussing of what was working or what they could
good.
share or copy.
That's good. We're in the middle of our budget discussion, so it's good.
Great timing.
Good to bring that up tonight. Any other comments?
May I speak to this, Mayor?
You bet. You're on.
Kelly, thank you for being here tonight. Can you hear me, I hope?
Yes, I
Yeah.
can.
Great. I first learned about this when I was just visiting the city council, and of course, I'm in my second year on the council, and I'm glad to see it being so successful. When I was in Washington, D.C. in May with Mayor Crabb, Scott Flory, and also Colleen for the North Iowa Leaders Conference, we had a chance to visit for a little bit outside of Senator Ernst's office with her about the importance of child care and federal funding. And she was very much in support of that, and we were actually sharing the program and how it worked in North Iowa. So I just want to let you know that we had a chance to listen, get on the ear of a member of the Senate, and hopefully, then Ashley Henson also had supper with us that one night and was very much in favor. So just to let you know that I'm great support, and I'm grateful you've had such success.
Yeah, thank you. I will say all eyes are on Iowa right now as far as childcare. We are the first state that's taken some governmental approaches to trying to solve this issue, and we're seeing results from it. And again, it's a shared, not just all government support. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from all the businesses that put a lot of money into this program to help us get off the start without any kind of success in our back pocket yet, so.
Well, I would agree, Kelly. I think that's a great part of the program. You got a lot of partners involved to collaborate with it. And I think one of the things I'm encouraged by, it sounds like not just the quantity of people that you can recruit for these jobs, but you said earlier the quality of the applicant pool has went up quite a bit. And I think that's a real transformative part of the program,
Absolutely.
So hopefully that's made a real difference in a lot of people's.
It has, yeah.
You
The
know,
morale is off the charts right now in our centers,
Okay.
which is what you want when you have someone caring for your children.
Absolutely, yeah, no, that's exciting to hear. So I think it's a good program.
Thank you. Any other comments? Good. Thanks for being
Thank you,
here.
guys.
Thanks for being here.
You bet. We'll
Appreciate
come
that.
back anytime you want us.
You bet. All right, 6B, an ordinance establishing state set-off program provision and review. Jacob Widman, acting city administrator. Jacob is ill tonight and is not with us, but council, you've got in the gray sheets there, ordinance number 889, and he was here at work today, so hopefully he didn't spread it all the way up and down the hall, Jan, or you and I are in trouble here.
I'm close to you.
But we have on that gray sheet some set-off program provisions that Jacob has written, and I said, well, do we have people that are not paying? And with regard, no, he says perhaps a couple of them, but this is just what could be down the road, and that's why I need to approve ordinance number 889. So I'll go ahead and read that, and then we can have our discussion on it if you wish during that time. But I need a motion to approve ordinance number 889, an ordinance amending an ordinance of the City of Clear Lake, Iowa, now known as Fiscal Management, Chapter 7 of the Clear Lake Municipal Code by adding a new section 7.09, providing for set-off program provisions. And this is on the first of 3 readings since it's an ordinance. Motion, please.
So
Hello.
moved. Second.
Moved by Beth Ann, seconded by Creighton, that we approve ordinance number 889 on the first reading. Is there any discussion? None appearing. the it's roll call for ordinance number 89. Roll call. Beth Ann?
Yes.
Bennett?
Yes.
Dana?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
And Creighton?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Ordinance 889 is approved on the first reading. Thank you. Chief, report.
I don't have anything unless you have questions from the monthly that Jennifer mailed out Thursday or Friday for me.
Council, any questions that, pardon?
I think a week off, but it is after the last week.
Yeah, yeah. Anything else on that, council, that you'd like to comment on? We're ready to, roll on the, Right. yeah,
As long as we have ice, we're ready.
we've got ice, but, I think you're gonna have skates and cleats and all of that.
We're set. We're good to go.
Yeah. Great. Any questions, further? Public Works? Jeremy?
I got nothing, except that your water main comment last meeting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. There were 4 of them.
On Saturday.
I counted 4 of them on this weekend.
4 since your comment, yeah.
Yeah.
So we had 3 this last week.
Was there only 3?
And then, we were right, we had 4, because one was, last week.
You had South Third,
Friday, Saturday.
South Third, 20th, North Shore Drive, one more somewhere. Okay. Yeah. Well, I came down North Shore, that was like going down the canal there.
Yeah. So, it was a little work for a week, so.
Warm weather, see, warm weather. Now it goes cold, you won't have any for a while, so. Sorry I brought
What
it
else
up.
do you want to bring up?
We have our city engineer, will be coming back tomorrow with us. Go to my report. It was a fabulous week down there at the surf with all the people that came in for winter dance party, and a number of them they gave tours of the new building, Music Experience Center over there. There were a lot of people that I've seen over the past 20 years that came back, and none of them are in wheelchairs, none of them are in crutches or anything like that. They are moving around fine, but it's good to see them all back from all across the country, and I think I did see one gentleman from England, but it was done very, very well, and we have a new director down there, Brian Llewellyn, and he, I thought, did a wonderful job in his first time through that. It was well done, well done. City Administrator, we have none. Does anybody have anything for the good of the cause tonight? Welcome, sir.
I know, I'm kind of unforgettable. What can I say? And I'll stand up because I need the exercise. These guys don't need the exercise, I guess. But just a report on our fire calls for last month. It's 134. I think Doug sent that over. We had 103 in January of 2024, so we're up on calls. We did assist Mason City in their fire call over at their waste, their recycling plant or whatever it's called. We sent 2 trucks over with 2 crews. They were there for a long time, a lot of it just hauling water, doing some firefighting as well. So it turned out it was a long day for them. There's no water out there. There's no fire out there, so it was kind of a tough battle to fight that fire. So, but they did a good job, got over there, got some experience on that. We did have a couple grass fires, which is kind of unusual for January. We don't normally have that. Had a great ice training session as well. We were able to get down and get some open water, put some of our rookie guys in the ice rescue suits. Some of them never been in them before, so that worked out really well for them. Did some other training with some tools and some equipment that we have. Engine 4 is back in operation. We were able to get a water pump for that, got it put back in operation, as well as the engine water pump, as well as the regular fire pump. That's back in operation, which is good to know. Now we've got that back up, plus the capability of running 3 trucks out in a rural call. So that was good to know and get it back in operation. The ambulance is back. Our ambulance that was involved in that crash is back. We just got to get the radio put in it. Looks pretty good, looks like it's ready to go, just need to have a radio put back in and get it up to operations. And last thing, I'll give you a little tease. Jacob's not here because he's sworn to secrecy, he can't talk about it either. We're looking at a new project. We're gonna put something together at our Fire Memorial over there, 9/11 Memorial. We'll be bringing you a little more on that, I think, after our meeting on Thursday night. We've got kind of a special project set up. We're hoping to be able to put something there very special for everybody to see, and I'm not gonna tell you more about it, but it's pretty cool. If we can get the guy to do what we want him to do, it's gonna be kinda neat to have there. So, again, appreciate all your support for the fire department. The rookies are doing a great job, getting some experience in fighting fire and also in ice rescue stuff. So, I think Coach Chief had some guys out there too. We had I think it was one of his officers found out that how cold that water is in an ice rescue suit when it's got a hole in it. So.
I gave him one with a hole in it.
Well, I don't know, he picked that one out, I'm not sure why, but there was a pretty big hole in it, because he was pretty damn wet when he got out of that water, let me tell you. He probably won't ever do that again, but they did get some good training out of it, and it really worked out well. We're still gonna do some training with our drone, underwater drone. As soon as it gets some open water again, we'll try that, and our above water, our air drone, is still working well. We've used it again. They use it, on a call again, so it's coming out working real well. So,
You know, you talk about numbers, and what are we at, 26, somewhere around 26 numbers, firefighters?
well, we're 28 right now. We got 28 firefighters, yep. Yeah, we could, and we're looking for other ones, you know, we'd love to have an application pool. I mean, if anybody's out there, again, we'd love to have an application pool where we get some guys and we get ready to fill them up. We're gonna have some retirements coming up, shortly, and so it'll be a case of having some people, but we still can use some more guys if they're willing. People, I'm not applying to guys, sorry. Anybody wants to apply, we'd sure like to have them apply.
You know, but I was talking to a friend the other day with regard to the recycling fire in Mason City and how it went on, you know, no hydrant, no water, haul, and then, you know, manpower, people power, whatever you want to call that. You know, the fact that we have 28 now, I think is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you look at the surrounding communities, you know, you look at the Missouri-Thornton area, the Rockwell area, then, you know, Ventura, when we get a structure fire, they come too, I do believe.
Yep.
And you look at Hanlon Town, and at one time, the head of the Hanlon Town Department worked in Mason City, which makes sense. But, you know, all these around us are, you know, hard time getting people simply because of the population.
And it's gonna be a problem, it's gonna get worse.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna
right.
get worse. My years of experience in it shows that these towns are losing people. The people don't live there anymore. You don't have a lot of businesses in those small communities, so it's gonna be tougher and tougher. I'm not sure what the answer is. The answer is in county association, county fire department sitting around someplace, because you could have a crew of 4 guys sitting in the station for 2 years and never answer a fire call. I mean, so I don't know if that's the answer either. It's gonna be a tough situation. That's why we teamed up with Ventura. I mean, they have a call. We send our guys over there too, and they send the guys here. That's made a big difference. It really does. Daytime fire calls is gonna be a problem for everybody. You know, you look at Joyce, you look at some of the smaller fire departments, it's really a struggle right now for those guys.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can keep going and keep working on it,
Yep.
so,
Thanks, Mike.
thanks.
Any other business, council? Thank you all for being here. Meeting adjourned.